Gaelicasla Nugwa Kugwesayok Gayutan Lak Comox. Hello, my name is Kelly Shopland. I'm the Executive Director of Indigenous Education at North Island College. The personal experience of being in Japan, it was a culture shock, and I think that's a common thread that we all saw. Very different coming from, the forests of Vancouver Island to the cities of Japan and the trains of Tokyo. As we first stepped off the plane, it was a very different experience, and seeing the growth in all of the students as they stepped outside their comfort zone was quite amazing. For a lot of the students that might have come from quite rural and remote communities who maybe have had very little opportunities to travel or be abroad, meet other cultures, this could be a life-changing experience for them.
Nukwa Umagilis, Junklin, Gayklin Lach, the Wiwakai Nation. It was exciting to be there and to see a different country. And when I got there and realized they had so much that was so similar to ours, I totally enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the people and the connection we had.
This became this really amazing opportunity to connect to a group that has such important connection to BC history, which is also where I teach. And to do place-based learning, which I'd never done before. To find out ways to send more students to Japan and go with them again as well, but also send more faculty.
I saw a lot of growth just from the start of the trip to the end of the trip and their comfortability, introducing themselves, sharing their Indigenous cultures and learning about the Japanese cultures and finding those similarities and differences and really leaning into that.
Hi, my name is Eileen Rufus and I'm from Port Hardy from the Gwasla Nakwidot Nation. The reason I wanted to go to the field school in Mio was because I wanted to exchange cultures between my culture and the Japanese, and I also wanted to experience the food and build connections with the people there. I feel like I learned to find peace within myself, learning to be comfortable with the uncertainty, and that it's okay to be figuring things out and you don't need to stress, and learning the fun. It really helped encourage me and get on track with going back to university. It was really amazing to meet people from elsewhere on Vancouver Island, as I live on a remote small town in Port Hardy, and so it was awesome to meet other people on Vancouver Island and develop lifelong friendships.
For me, going to Japan was a lifelong dream of mine. So when I seen that NIC was hosting this global learning studies course, I immediately jumped in on it. I was just super giddy to actually get the chance to go, and I've never been the same since. I've always struggled with social anxiety, so getting to know people I don't know was a very big experience, especially going to an entirely different country, different language, different culture. It kind of opened me up. If I hadn't received scholarships, I wouldn't have gone. I didn't have enough money to do so.
As someone who's non-Indigenous, I think it's really important to learn more about Indigeneity. I met all kinds of people from different programs that I wouldn't have met, from different nations around Vancouver Island and beyond. My own culture, I had to sit back and think about a little bit more. Just being immersed in a culture so different. I can't do a whole semester somewhere right now, but it's still amazing to get the opportunity to do a field school. And being a student and having a certain level of responsibility at home, there isn't really a budget for big trips. So I was really grateful and appreciative to the Global Skills Opportunity Fund.
For most folks, it was such a visceral experience just to be launched into, like one of our students said, culture shock. But then we were also really interesting to see the parallels and connections and cultures across the sea. From what I've just said, connecting family, but also I really wanted, because I work with students, I'm an Indigenous education navigator. I truly and 110% believe without some sort of financial funds, this couldn't have been a reality for many students.
The field trip impacted me through the fishing and seeing the ships there, the boats, and it took back memories when I used to be on the fish boat, but just learning their culture and their way of life and their fishing was so important to me to bring back. My wish is for one day that Mio would be able to come over for a field trip to learn about our culture and see our fishing and just to learn about our country. Gela Kesla.
The best learning happens, I think, outside the classroom and when we're thrown out of our comfort zones and to make friends across the globe.
The Global Skills Funds were key to making this field school a success. In working with Indigenous communities, in working with the Indigenous Education Council, it's been evident and clear that these opportunities wouldn't exist for many students without the support of the funding.
I would do it again 1,000%.